Cool. We should, Joey, be live right now on YouTube and for the first time ever, TikTok. Can you believe
Tickers.
that?
Cannot believe it. It's been a hard graft getting here.
Yeah.
We've both had to commute from
Long way.
our living rooms to our bedrooms.
Yeah.
But we're here.
I hate that commute. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's always some wanker in the way. There's always someone smelling of BO. You know, there's always someone, blowing their nose in your face. You know,
your fiance doesn't always smell of BO.
No, that's Jake. No.
Yeah.
This is super, super exciting. We have had a super chat already on YouTube from Paul Taylor,
Wow.
Your big mate, Paul Taylor. He's asked you a question, Joey. Do you mind if I ask you?
Yes.
He has asked, if you could fight any boxer, past or present, who would you pick and why?
Ooh. I feel disrespectful to the sport of boxing to answer with this answer, but I've got to answer with the one I want to answer, and he is technically a boxer. Dean the Great on Misfits. I'd love to absolutely smash that little pussy's jaw to pieces. So yeah, that'd be who it'd be. But in terms of being able to just sharing with a fighter, like, I'm a lightweight. I always go to say one and then I go to swing towards another, purely for the honor of sharing a ring. Ricky Hatton, from a British standpoint, Manny Pacquiao boxed in my weight division, didn't do too well against the Southpaw last time, so I wouldn't favour that one. But I would have to say a lightweight Amir Khan, because although he would light me up, there's such thing in boxing as a puncher's chance, and I do believe I'd have a puncher's chance in there.
I love it. So
I
want to see this. I want to see this happen now. I really, really do. How are you, Joey? Can we start off, because I feel like sometimes we get into this chat. Are you doing all right?
I'm doing all right, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better now that Chelsea have won a game. I'm feeling a lot happier after that.
People are asking already in the chat whether I've been in a punch-up.
Well, he is sitting there with a knife, and just to clarify it for everyone, this is Joey's sort of tea that he's cutting up right now, and he isn't just sort of really starting off the true crime episode in
Supper,
reality.
we call it in the UK.
Yeah, I was doing some some research on this case that we're going to cover in our next video, and in that I was listening to a podcast and they were describing the difference between tea and dinner and lunch, and where it matters in the country, because obviously it's different in different parts of the country. It's very confusing, Joey.
Criminal Connections podcast in the chat. Big up.
Yeah. Big up.
Some really, really good stuff coming out from that channel. Close to home from myself, a lot of or a couple of the guys that were in the Football Factory have been been interviewed on that podcast. And Terry Stone, whose podcast it is, probably would know my dad and probably wouldn't realise that my dad is my dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, but my dad writ Hula
Famous.
Fan. My dad writ Hula Fan, Naughty 90s, and a few of the Football Hooligan books, which I'm guessing anyone of that generation would have read. So yeah.
Big up, Terry.
Cool.
Big up, Terry. I like that he reached out, and it was very kind of him to reach out. A guy with a channel that is absolutely massive, one of the best true crime channels on YouTube.
Not just the channel, though. Not just the channel. Like the rise of the Foot Soldier movies are legendary.
I know.
Like literally, oh mate, God. When I watched Rise of the Foot Soldier 1, all I wanted to do was steroids, ecstasy, go to the football and have a fight, and probably cheat on my missus. So there you go. And people say I'm easily influenced.
You're definitely not. You're definitely not. Back to boxing very quickly before we get into the meat and potatoes of this. How long is left until your fight?
I think 3.5 weeks.
And how hard did you punch the other guy to get that on your nose?
This isn't boxing related.
Oh, okay.
No, this is oh god, this is a a bedroom injury. I was
Oh,
muff.
okay.
I was muff diving with a fearsome growler and bit of friction burn on the old nose.
Yeah. It's happened to us all, mate. It's happened to us all.
All people keep saying to me, is like, oh, what happened? What happened? And I'm like, bro, like I've literally got a graze on my nose. Yeah. I'll tell you another thing. While we're at it, right? The Legia Warsaw fans, the Polish, right? They don't know the layout of Stamford Bridge because I don't know if you saw. Do you know about this? I was texting you drunk, wasn't
I? Yes, I do know about this.
So they somehow got in to the Chelsea section.
Yeah,
right?
You told me all about this.
What they didn't realise is they've got into Westview. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was in the old hospitality. Big up, Jets there, hospitality. I was in the hospitality bit, yeah. So it didn't really matter, like that they got in there because you get in there and you'll realise it's business people, it's children, it's people taking clients out and stuff like that and whatever. It's not, and I'm not, there's not really much of the sort of element of football hooliganism nowadays anyway, but it's not necessarily the people that they're going to want to have a tear up with and whatnot. And I've got a slight suspicion that is why they got into the Chelsea end. Anyway, they've got in there, and who's the fucking first person they come over to? The bloke in the Football Factory trench coat with the cuts all over his face.
You are very predictable, Joey, aren't you? You are very. You could go in a nice suit, a nice shirt. You're very predictable.
Straight away, they're going to me, fighter. Well, they weren't. They
weren't with the knife.
No. They're like, fighter, and I'm like, yeah, mate, fighter, yeah. Not with you though. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Can we just have a mate? We need to just pause for a second, Joey.
Yeah.
James, a channel member, a legend, has just donated £20 on the super chat. That is the biggest super chat that we have ever received, James. And that is very, very kind of you indeed. Thank you so, so much. He's asked us a question, Joey. Can I ask you?
Ask me the question.
He says, keep smashing it, lads. On the episode that you mentioned, he's on episode 1. Mm-hmm. He said on the most recent one that he's seen a recent photo of Maxine Carr. Where did you see it? He couldn't find it.
So, James, firstly, again, thank you very, very much. Really appreciate your super chat. Secondly, when I say recent, it's recent in context. What I meant by recent was, since she's apparently had cosmetic work done, since we've spent taxpayer money on giving Maxine Carr a transformation, and whatnot. So basically, and apparently I use whatnot all the time, I've heard.
It's your new catchphrase, Joey, and that's absolutely fine because it's a classic. It's good.
There you go.
It's just good. Can you just do it in character right now for us?
Well, if we're talking about the Maxine Carr photo and whatnot, I would say that I found that photo. I believe it was on Twitter. However, that photo has since been taken down. Here's the twist.
Ooh.
Right? Here's the twist. When I saw that photo, the photo showed Maxine Carr with blonde hair, which many people have been messaging me saying a blonde wig, and we'll get onto that. With blonde hair, right? I swear to God, it could have been a. Sometimes they'll have like AA sessions in these sort of things that look a bit like they could be classrooms. It looked like a fucking classroom. That's all I'm saying, right? It looks like a classroom. It was definitely her. I'm not suggesting she went on and was a teaching assistant somewhere. It was definitely her. And ironically, where did the person claim they took the photo of her?
Was that Sunderland?
It was Sunderland, my friend. And my inbox and comment section has been inundated, if that's a word, with comments regarding Maxine Carr's whereabouts, where she's been spotted, different seaside towns, moved up and down the country. But Sunderland just comes up over and over and over again, consistently.
Yeah, yeah. It's quite obvious that she was there at least for a prolonged period of time. I've had a few. By the way, there's a few people on the TikTok chat, for example. They're saying they spotted her in the Isle of Wight. Don't know if you've heard anything there.
Isle of Wight is. You've always got to be careful, ain't you? Isle of Wight is notorious for housing nonces and wrong-uns when they come out of prison. I can confirm that.
Why is that? Is that just because it's outside? It's off the mainland, British mainland.
Off grid.
Yeah.
No, but either way. Maybe. Yeah, no, I can't say.
Don't say it.
So I had a message. Maxine Carr lives in Chesterfield area of Derbyshire. She used to live next to me in York. She was given a new identity. She wore a blonde wig. A lady that lived next to me spotted that it was her and called her by her name, Maxine, one morning. LOL. She was taken away. She was taken away with that. After the housing officer, the housing officer told me that it was her after she had been removed. We had no idea, though. For 2 years, she lived here in our block of flats.
Really?
Well, I mean, not really. That's someone said to me.
Yeah, but I mean, do you believe that? Do you believe it, though?
I believe that, much like Karen Matthews, much like Tracy Connolly, the mother of Baby P, I believe that she has been outed pretty much wherever she goes. The photo that I saw that I spoke about, big up James of the super chat, the photo that I saw, it was definitely her. It was 100% her. Like it's similar to, as soon as I saw the suspected photo of John Venables, I went, I don't care whether you were a kid at the time.
You recognise it. That's you. Just on that picture then, bearing in mind we can't pull it up anymore because we don't have it. Can you describe, can I ask you a couple of questions in terms of how she actually looked? Did she have plastic surgery and did she look materially different than what she used to?
No.
Really?
But I can't deny that she'd had plastic surgery. I'm just saying she didn't look that different.
She looked recognisable in a way that you were just immediately you were like, that's her.
Josh, she even still had the same length hair. I'm not going to say the exact same hairstyle, but she even still had the same. But it was blonde. Short hair, blonde.
And you think, did it look like a wig or did it look like it was real hair? Don't know.
I don't know. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah. Fascinating,
weird,
isn't it?
Just quickly.
Go on.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Is Darlington Newcastle way?
I thought Darlington, there's a Darlington in Yorkshire. I thought it was Yorkshire way. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Maybe that's it. Maxine Carr lives in Darlington. I know her exact house. It's a stone's throw away from a primary school. She's always seen walking her Japanese Akita dog.
Oh, wow. That's a very specific dog. That's a very specific dog.
I can confirm that the Sunderland sightings were very much true. It looked very much like her. And towards the end of her time in the area, people took photos of her and the undercover police that were following her. One of whom was known to a certain family in the area, and he confessed to them, albeit under duress. Duress,
yeah.
Duress. That it was indeed her. She was moved days later. She was in Gillylaw Flats, and the lake that she used to visit was Silksworth.
Okay. And do you reckon? Is that recent? Are they saying a time period on these?
No, they're not, to be honest.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know if it was like, the last couple of years or not. Do you know what I mean?
Can I give you the two sides of the coin? Okay. Right?
Yeah.
The two sides of the coin are this. If me and you are analysing a potential suspect and they go into very specific detail, what does it make you think straight away?
They know something.
It makes me think they're lying.
Why?
Right. Ian Huntley. I don't know the girls. They walked past. I was brushing my dog off. She'd run away and come back a bit of a mess. Why? Hold on. Your dog? No one cares. Why are you telling us about your dog? Why don't you just say the girls walk past, right? Pointless detail. Stuart Hazel, when he's talking about Tia Sharp, you know, I gave her £5 to go down the shop with, and I'd already given her hold on, what has this got to do with her disappearance? Yeah, right. So many countless times they go into pointless lies because it's a psychological comfort to start talking. Maxine Carr herself, you know, she talks about, oh, we had a Sunday roast. I peeled the potatoes because sometimes I like them with the skin on and to crisp them. But this day I actually like, who gives a fuck? There's 2 girls missing, you silly cunt, right? So what I'm saying is this. When people go into pointless detail, yeah, I often think lie, right? However, I'm going to completely contradict myself. I don't think these TikTok comments are lying.
But they're not going, like, when you say specific detail, there's a different thing between going into the level of detail that all of these people that you've mentioned have done and going into a TikTok comment, which is, I think I've seen this person, they've done this, they're in this location and they look like this. That's not going overboard. In fact, we haven't specifically asked for sightings, but obviously part of the video is and the intrigue around it is finding these people, I suppose. So I think it's 2 different things, mate. I don't know why you're collating the 2.
The thing with it, mate, is like, you know, they say there's no smoke without fire. As soon as we mentioned Sunderland, everyone kept saying it. Everyone kept saying Sunderland.
Is that because going back to another sort of true crime case trope? Is that because people hear it on the media or they've seen some, newspaper article or whatever, and they've said that she's in Sunderland and that's what they're reporting back? Like, this happens in crime cases all the time. It's like someone has heard something, the jury is swayed because they've seen something in the media and they go from what they think they've seen to what is actually a reality.
I've read every bit of media information that I've been able to get my hands on. Not one bit of media has said Sunderland, has said,
really?
Has said, what do they call that part of England? The north?
The northeast.
Northeast, yeah. None of them have said that. Most of them say seaside town, which obviously you can get them, not north. But I think seaside town, I'm like, oh, Brighton, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, it's on the coast up there, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen anything explicitly call out those towns, then fair enough. That obviously isn't the case. But
now, what we do know is she's got a child.
Yeah.
We know that child's about 14.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We know that until that child is of legal age, by law, terms of Maxine Carr's condition, bail and whatever, she cannot disclose her true identity to that child. So there's
until they're 18.
Until they're 18.
Yeah.
There's a debate around the husband, right? People go, oh, would the husband know? Imagine, whatever. I would I'd be about 95% sure. I'd think if I had to put my money on it, I'd be very confident I'd be getting my money back, that the husband knows who she is.
Do you not think legally the husband would have to know just for a protection sake of him? Like, surely within the law there's some protections on him.
What was she convicted of, Josh?
Well, yeah, she wasn't convicted on much. Fair enough. Yeah.
Was she convicted of anything to do with violence?
No, she wasn't. No,
she wasn't. So they wouldn't have to know. But
surely there's a case like this it's so stellar and so wild that it's a different style of case. Surely.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is you can't sell a kid because you can't trust the kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, until they're 18, 100%. But then with the husband, I feel like he has a right to know. You'd want to know if your missus had done that.
So what I'm saying is this. Ian Huntley's biological daughter.
Yep. Who
was born under, or out of horrendous circumstances, let's say, right? We don't want to say the word on here, but his biological daughter found out when researching crime rates in the Grimsby area.
How did you find that out, by the way? Because that is a mad story. Was that in her press interview that she said?
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, Joey.
Should we spill some tea on her?
Do you know what her name is?
Oh God, don't say it's like Maxine.
Well, no, because someone on TikTok has just followed us called Georgina Huntley.
She wouldn't go by the surname.
No, but I'm just saying, if she's called Georgina,
can I give an exclusive?
then I'm worried. Go on.
Or am I not allowed to? About someone who it never ended up coming to fruition, but they were going to sit down and have a chat with her.
I don't know if you can say that. I don't know if you'd want that said. I don't know. I better to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, don't worry then.
Yeah.
Maybe we will.
Yeah, maybe we will. I'd be very open to talking to her. What would you want to ask her?
I don't know really.
I'd want to know what she would want to say to him. I'd want to know what her life has been like since finding out and how it's changed. I'd want to know what she feels about Maxime.
Yeah. Sorry. Can I just having a look at the YouTube comment section? Shout out everyone that's in the YouTube live. Please do us a massive favour and hit a like on the video. It helps us out massively. But I want to address something. So, the picture that I saw of Maxine Carr, right? The reason that has been deleted, obviously, is because when someone has lifetime
anonymity.
Anonymity. Yeah.
Nailed it.
It actually means that it's a legal offence to expose their new identity. And that is exactly what a couple did, a couple as in a relationship couple, did to John Venables. And then when John Venables was obviously living in... Where was Venables living? Where was he living?
Let us know in the chat. The chat will help us out here. Let us know
where was Venables living. He was living... I should know this because I was obsessed. He was working at Pizza Hut. Venable. Where was John?
This is interesting, mate. By the way, when you're searching this, Noah in the YouTube chat, he has said, I know with John Venables, you aren't allowed to share his picture or even say what he looks like now. Are you allowed to with her, i.e. Maxime? And he said that people have been arrested for sharing pictures of Venables.
This is exactly what I was about to tell you, mate.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I've ruined it.
Yeah. So basically, arrested, charge, 7-month suspended sentence each for the couple. Yeah. So there are...
Grimsby, apparently, by the way.
Where John Venables is living?
That's what Ryan said.
Oh, that is grim.
Yeah.
That is grim.
Nailed it.
Right? So there are people that shared images of John Venables, 7-month suspended sentence. However, there are people that have plotted terror attacks. There are kiddie fiddlers, proven. There are so many different types of scumbags that don't spend 7 months in prison for their offences. So completely mad that is the case. Our legal system is a joke, and I think that video by video I don't want to say expose this because I don't want to suggest that we have the power to do that. Ultimately, we're just two blokes that give our opinions on stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems more often than not, and chat can tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems more often than not that common sense prevails, and most people kind of agree with a lot of the outlooks and views that we have on things. So who knows?
Yeah. And look, I think the thing is there are so many crimes that are solved in a way that is fair and right and police do the right thing. But the thing is with these massive cases, unfortunately, what we tend to do, and bearing in mind we do the research for them, is we tend to unearth a lot of police failures. And not just police failures. I mean, the Lucy Letby case has exposed a massive NHS failure, which again is sensitive at the moment. And I think we expose things societally that and politicians and that sort of thing as well. That
You're exposing yourself all the time.
I literally, mate, literally.
There you go, physically.
Got the rap sheet for it. So yeah,
I
think,
am surprised that our Lucy Letby video hasn't done more views.
Yes. It might be the thumbnail.
It might be. Where's my tin foil?
Stop it. Don't get the tinfoil hat out this early in the live stream, Joe. You need to have at least 3 more pints.
It might be the exact same reason that you don't see the mainstream media.
I didn't think you liked conspiracy theories.
After that press conference, if everyone wasn't under that same umbrella that I suggested, i.e. police force, government, media, if everyone wasn't under that same umbrella, after that shock revelation press conference that we cover in the Lucy Letby video, go and have a watch of it if you haven't already, there would have been a media circus and a media frenzy about what was said in that press conference, and it's gone very, very quiet. Very quiet, my friend. Ask yourself the question why.
Surely it's not going to be quiet for very long, bearing in mind all of the information that's out there. Surely there is just a legal process that's going on, and eventually there will be a resolution and a positive resolution in the way that we see the case. Surely it happens like that.
I'm not sure because when you say the way that we see the case, I think that my what's the word? My sort of conclusion on things was that I see the case as one that deserves a retrial. Yeah.
Complete retrial from scratch. Yeah.
Rather than, I think she's innocent. Do you know what I mean?
But you say retrial with the fact that you believe she is innocent, so it's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yes. But there are people more, a lot more qualified and a lot smarter than me that are the people that should rightfully be making those decisions. Yeah. Because if each, case, if each crime, if each injustice, if each whatever was left down to me, then fuck knows, we'd have half the right people in prison and half the wrong people in prison. Yeah. All I do know is I wouldn't be in there.
Yeah. So just for everyone's context, Joey's tinfoil hat is going to remain on for the rest of this live stream. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah. Any other conspiracies that you want to just get out there, get off your chest right now?
Oh.
What do you think of flat Earth?
Don't worry about flat Earth.
Okay.
I think that there is a lot more, and I'm only going to tease this because this could be an upcoming episode, and I have never actually spoke to you about this. Okay. I think that there is a lot more to the Nicola Bulley case.
Yes. We've got to cover this, Joey, because there's been a lot of comments about this as well. We do have to cover this story. And it is similar. I mean, it's similar to the other missing people cases that we've kind of looked into. I think this would be a good one to cover.
Sam, thank you very much for the super chat, bro. Really appreciate that. Cheers for the class content, lads. Cheers, Sam, for watching the class content and rating it as being class. So thank you very much, Sam. Big shout out to Sam. Is Bin Laden actually dead? Who knows, mate? Body dumped at sea.
I mean, have you not seen Zero Dark 30? You know?
What?
That was... No, I'm joking.
Did Hitler escape to Argentina?
Yeah. I'd love to cover that one because there's been a lot of documentaries about that. And there was a Joe Rogan episode where he spoke to an expert in that sort of time period. And he said there were a lot of ways that he could have got out of Berlin and over to South America. That would be a good episode.
Can I tell you, right? I watched a movie, I believe it was, about Hitler. And guess who played Hitler?
Was it an English actor or an American actor?
It was.
An English actor played him. No, I can't remember. Go on.
Right. Recently, it's very, very popular and rightly deserved, by the way, that we give the credit to Stephen Graham. He's a phenomenal actor.
Phenomenal actor.
And you can stick him in any type of film, any type of role. He can be the gangster, he can be the copper, he can be a New York mobster, he can be anything, right? And he's a phenomenal actor. But to go from the full Monty, Robert Carlyle, and Trainspotting to playing Hitler and pulling it off as convincingly as he did in this film that I'm on about was ridiculous.
What was the film called? Can you remember it?
Robert Carlyle Hitler.
Because have you seen Downfall?
The Rise of Evil.
Okay. And is he's speaking English in that film? It's all in English, is it?
Yeah.
I feel in that time period it's got to be contextually relevant. That's why have you ever seen Valkyrie?
No.
Valkyrie is the one. Is it Tom Cruise in Valkyrie, or is someone like that? He's in Valkyrie, and they're all Americans, and it just doesn't work. I'm sorry.
A lot of people saying the Nicola Bully case fascinates them.
Yeah.
There's a village in Argentina full of Germans, and the locals have said that Hitler used to live there in this remote house that was gated.
Yeah, there's a town in Argentina called Little Bavaria, which is fascinating. And players like Gabriel Heinze played for Argentina, and that is famously an Argentinian name.
Yeah. What about Ben Needham? Ben Needham.
Yes.
Do you know much about that?
I don't. Why don't you give me a 10-second synopsis?
Fucking hell, I'll be able to do it in 10 seconds.
Counting. I'm counting.
Although it wouldn't be the first time I have.
I'm counting.
Ben Needham was a really cute little blonde kid from the UK who went missing on the island of Crete.
Not Tenerife.
No, I've been missing on the island of Crete.
I
actually have.
What's the story there?
Oh, don't. Took a fucking cab back to some slapper's apartment, and
and she kept you there.
Crete's where Malia is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I had to do an escape, but I was like in the middle of nowhere. I got in some random car, and it was all back lanes, and I thought, oh my god, I'm about to get. Oh, don't. Honestly, do you know what is really funny? And Josh knows this, right? And like, I'd love to be able to, like, I would love to be able to open up with you guys sometimes. There's two reasons why I can't. Firstly, there's certain things that, well, I wouldn't say they'd get me cancelled or anything, but maybe I might not be as brand friendly if people knew about them. And secondly, there's certain things that like I wouldn't want to let my missus to watch and shit. And whatever. I've been in some fucking crazy situations. Like I was reading the TikToks. Like obviously, when you get a viral TikTok, you get loads of, well, just mostly intrigue, a little bit of love, a little bit of hate, whatever. But I was reading something. It was like this bloke wouldn't know anything about a prison, never whatever, like and stuff like that. And I'm thinking like you, like. Sorry, fucking Al Pacino. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know anything about me. Like, I've been in some situations, my boy.
We should, one day, you and I are going to sit down and we're going to do an episode on, like, the sort of, your biography almost. And that would be a wild episode.
Do you know what my first ever arrest was?
You can't talk about that on YouTube.
No, I can.
Go on, tell us.
I've told you already, you know.
Tell us all.
Arrest number 1.
Yeah.
Kicking a shop window in.
Not for the first time.
Because my sister got locked inside because we were shoplifting. Arrest number 2, assault on a police officer.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a proper arrest. He wasn't even. His name was Jamie. I'm sure he was a nonce. He was PC Jamie. We used to terrorize him because he used to put about 1 million tubs of gel in his hair. Anyone from Epsom remember PC Jamie? He was like one of them ones, always got the thumbs in the thing. Oh, just knob. And he tried to tell me to disperse. I went, fuck off, and pushed him. And he went flying against the shutters, and it made a big bang. And then they fucking put me in the back of the meat wagon. And number 3, drunk and disorderly.
Where were you drunk and disorderly?
Epsom outside the Odeon. I'd done a fucking bottle of brandy. I don't even drink brandy.
Why? Yeah.
So I didn't realise the percentage levels in alcohol were that different. Obviously, this arrest I was like 13. I didn't realise they were that different. So basically, I knew they were a bit stronger, but I didn't realise how much stronger. So me and my pal Tom, right, we poured out our Lucasades bottles and we filled it with brandy out the cupboard. And we were swigging it and doing it and whatever. Fucking next thing I know, I wake up and I'm in bed and my mum's like, you got nicked last night and they wanted to pump your stomach at hospital. I was like, oh, is it?
What were you doing then? What were you doing to be so disorderly?
Being an absolute legend. No, I fell off the wall.
All right, Jay.
I fell off the wall. I get Jay for the in-betweeners.
In the story of your life, I think he might actually end up having to be the actor. I really do. I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah,
Get him a sort of a workout routine. He could play you really well. We decided that. We talked about this on the episode where we were rating comedies. We did decide that you would be Jay and I would be 100%. Will, unfortunately.
Yeah. Tyler Stocker, member of the channel. Big up, Tyler. Thank you very much, mate. What are the upcoming cases you're covering? Well, Tyler, you are in luck, but some people may not be.
Ooh,
however, they still have time. They still have time to change it, because in about 10 minutes from now, maximum, we are going to go live again, exclusively. Sorry, phlegm. Exclusively to members only. In that members only section, we are going to obviously be in a lot more dialogue with the chat because there'll be less people in there. We are going to be letting you guys know what video is going to be dropping on Sunday for the general public and Friday, if not before, for you guys, which obviously is a perk that only the members get. So the members, they'll get their episodes 48 hours minimum before we actually drop them for the general public. Plus, they're the only people allowed in the members stream, which is where we spill the tea, we dish the dirt, we answer your questions, and we interact with all of you. And then also, full members, and maybe this could be one when we talk about, you know, getting arrested and getting in trouble and whatever. We are going to try and do one sort of non-true crime episode per month that is just members exclusively, and that could be on life experiences. I mean, we had quite a deep chat in the last membership
live
stream.
Yeah.
A few people saying they were struggling with their mental health and stuff like that, and we was having a deep chat. And for what it's worth, I'm not an expert, but we were both sort of giving our advice and touching on our own experiences and whatnot. So yeah, I've gone around the houses there, but we will be revealing not only what episode will be dropping this week, we'll be revealing what episode we're filming this week, which is one I'm really excited for.
Yeah,
really excited.
So that's two pieces of info, and do you know what? They are very, very exciting videos. I am particularly proud of what we produced for this video. Now it's in the edits that we'll be releasing on Friday for members and Sunday, I should say, for everyone. And I think that's going to be one of our best videos. And I think it will keep everyone intrigued for the entirety of the video. And I'm really, really excited for that. Joey, before we move on to anything else, what I want to say is we have got loads of people also on TikTok watching us today. So again, if you are watching on TikTok, do us a favor. Go over to YouTube right now. Hit the subscribe button at the very least. If you do want to learn more about what videos we're going to be doing, you can also just join as a membership. There is a link in the description. You can just click on it. It's very simple to join. And we will be telling you that info in a live stream within the next 10 minutes or so. Yeah.
And if you want to go the extra mile, go round to your next door neighbour's house, knock on their door, and just let them know about the podcast.
Yeah.
And then every door, I would say, let's not go mental, but for a 1 kilometre radius, just do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Just say Joey and Josh, they're the best. Have you ever seen
Kevin Reyes, by the way, Legends Super Chat, Kevin Reyes.
I'm going to show it back up on screen. Look at this, Joey. It's above my head right now. Go.
Kevin Reyes, you're a legend, my friend. You are a legend. Jordan Bailey in the chat, big up, mate. Ben Rum, what's up, you beautiful hardcores?
Ben, by the way, Joey,
Yep.
Ben was one of our first ever members on YouTube, so we have to give him a huge shout out, as well as Jordan, because Jordan has always been a legend on the channel a lot. But Ben has got one of, I don't know if you see that on the YouTube chat, he has got a diamond next to his name, which means he has been a member for over a month, which is a huge achievement. There's only about 6 people that have got those right now.
And you know what they say?
Diamond in the rough.
Diamonds are forever.
I thought they were talking about you.
Is going to become a member. She loves this channel. Now, do you know what I'm really overwhelmed by is the female support that we're having at this moment in time. Obviously, I've always, in terms of what I've done, anything media-wise, the boxing, obviously, you know, fighting myself and fighting in a few weeks and whatnot. Mate, some of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound, best fighters in the world are female boxers. But there's not as much of a audience for female boxing as there is for male boxing. So it's always been very low on a boxing scale. The football channel is about 97% male. The boxing channel was about 97% male. So everything I've done, I've never really had, you know, messages of support or things like that from female subscribers, from female watchers and followers and whatnot. And the amount of messages from female watchers recently who are really enjoying the podcast and whatnot is really overwhelming. Mad, and sometimes, you know what I'm like, Josh? Like, and there you go. Laura McBride has just become.
That was perfect timing, Joey, wasn't it? That was perfect,
hardcore, Laura. Welcome to the hardcore. Thank you so much. Another female subscriber, or Lara, I should say, not Laura.
As in Lara Croft.
Lara,
your favorite game of all time.
Laura McBride. But yeah, like I think that, and I know you'll go, oh, you're doing yourself a disservice and whatnot. But sometimes I feel like, oh, am I a bit crude, or am I a bit like just?
Well, to be honest with you, you are, mate. I'm not going to deny that. To be honest with you.
Yeah. But it's nice that. No, but it's
you didn't
nice.
think I was going to say that, did you?
It's nice that there are so many female watchers that are able to see past the fact that, you know, sometimes speak before thinking, and even if I thought before, I'll probably still get it wrong. And yeah, they're enjoying the stuff. So I'm really grateful for that. I had a few people at Chelsea the other day come over.
Yeah.
A few lovely ladies, and say that they liked the true crime stuff.
Do you know what's mad, mate? Is 2 things. One, I think a lot of boyfriends are introducing it to their girlfriends, and the girlfriends are loving it more than the boyfriends, which is brilliant. And the second thing is, it's actually only growing. We did. I think I was having a look at the data, and I think in February it was about 3% female. In March, I think it was about 10%, and in April, I think it's about 31% female. So we're getting very close now to near 50-50 with the way the numbers are going.
And bearing in mind, a lot of the male ones are watching it with their missus in the background.
Yeah,
and
so
it's
true.
finally something they can be half interested in. Like, I know from my my sort of family group chat, they like the females in my family always used to say, like, oh, yeah, sorry, I don't watch your podcast. And I'm like, why would you? Like, it's not for you. Don't worry. Like, you know, your view isn't going unmissed, sort of thing. And they fucking love it now. Like, they love it. Yeah. So it's a diverse audience, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah. Do you know what? There is a real joy, and you might laugh at me for saying this, but there's a real joy in finding something you can watch with your partner where you both really enjoy it. Like there's always that perennial argument, isn't there? Like, oh, what do we put on TV? What movie do we watch? And if we can provide some entertainment where both sides of the relationship can enjoy it, I think that's fucking brilliant. I'm really proud of that, actually, to be honest with you.
I mean, all that you watch of your partner is Married at First Sight,
Correct.
First Dates.
No, we've never watched that. So we watched Married at First Sight. We watched Love Is Blind. We used to watch like trashed it. Well, to be fair, we used to watch things like Made in Chelsea, which you've
I used to watch. I didn't watch Made in Chelsea. My go-tos were like Big Brother, Celeb Big Brother, X on the Beach, early seasons. Yeah,
Loved
Geordie Shore, that sort of stuff. By the way, Lara asked if I would ever be fighting in Scotland. I'm a mercenary for hire. I fight wherever I'm told to fight. So next fight's in Derby. After that, could be Miami.
Could be wherever they tell you to go.
Wherever I'm told to go. Do you think if I fight in London, I don't know whether it's just 'cause I've been listening to it. I've been doing a lot of listening to music recently.
Yeah.
Like, I don't normally I just listen to music in the gym and in the car, but I've been doing a lot of like just instead of having white noise on in the background when I'm just doing my work, or even sometimes when I'm not doing my work, I've been listening to a lot of music recently.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I fight in London, I'm going to walk out to Hometown Glory, Adele.
Wait, are you actually?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Your music choices are like almost like the opposite of what I think you'll do. Like when I've got a song in my head where I'm like, yeah, do you know what? Joey probably will walk out to that. You literally pick the opposite.
Well, it's funny, right? It's funny because I watched Brian's review on the Ben Whittaker Liam Cameron fight. Courtney French, thank you very much for joining the hardcore. It's good to have you amongst us, Courtney.
Joey, can you tell me before that who won that fight? Sorry, I didn't see it.
Whittaker stopped him in the second round. Early stoppage, in my opinion. Should have been given an opportunity to keep going, but Howard Foster's a shit ref. But well deserved to Ben Whittaker. But either way, Brian, basically, do you know what Liam Cameron walked out to?
No, tell me. I didn't see any of this fight.
Liam Cameron walked out to UV40. Wise men say.
Really?
Only fools.
Really?
Shit.
I bet that went off.
And no, I was watching it and I was like, fuck it. I was watching it and I was like, banger, absolute banger. Fucking love it and whatever.
Yeah.
And Brian trashed it in his video. He said,
no, did he?
For a fight. I've walked out to a few different tunes.
You have.
But do you know a song, and you'll think this is well weird, that I've always wanted to walk out to?
Go on.
Really, really weird. But do you know who Eva Cassidy is?
No, I don't.
I think I can play it for like 2 seconds without it getting copyrighted.
Yeah, go on. You have to do it very quickly.
Okay.
Oh no, this is far too sad, Joey. You gotta take it off. You gotta take it off, Joey. That's too much. They'll know the song. Mate, yeah. That's way too sad.
Yeah, but I'm a very emotional boxer.
I know you are. You're an emotional man.
I am.
Yeah, you are. I rate it.
I already know I'm going to cry after this fight. I need to get out of the ring as soon as possible, mate. I feel like after this fight, I'm going to have an explosion.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. That, mate, honestly, I'm buzzing to see that fight. Do me a favor, just by the way, 2 seconds. I just want to say thank you very much for Sam, who I think has rejoined the hardcore, and he has got his badge. So really appreciate that, Sam. And then Hannah Lucy has joined the hardcore for the first time. I'm going to show her on screen now. Thank you very, very much for joining.
And Hannah Lucy is a happy person's day as a Leeds United season ticket holder.
Oh, well done. They're back, mate. They're back. How do you feel about them being back?
It's
tough as a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, because Chelsea and Leeds have a rivalry, but I think that rivalries in all sport are what make sport. So should the Premier League have Leeds in?
Yes. 100%. 100%.
Like, mate, I'm gonna list a few teams that should be in the Premier League at all times. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, should be in the Premier League at all times, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Leeds United.
Yeah, teams that are not traditionally in there or not in there now. Yes, go.
As in, on stature.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you know you hear the thing about Everton too big to go down.
Yeah, I totally
Yeah?
agree. I think we
This
might
is
have done a
the-
video on this on the kickoff, but yeah, go on.
Okay, but this is the standpoint I'm coming at. Leeds United.
Yeah.
Blackburn United. Leicester City.
Don't know if they're United, but yeah, go on. They're Blackburn Rovers.
Blackburn Rovers, sorry.
Yeah.
Leicester City, right?
Yeah.
There's 3 there. Now I'm going to go into a few more rogue shouts, okay?
Yeah.
For me, Middlesbrough.
Okay, can I say one? South Coast? Who am I going to think of? Go on.
South Coast.
South Coast. Next one to rival Middlesbrough. One of your favourite managers managed them. Often lent out of cars.
Oh, Pompey.
Have to be in the Premier League.
Pompey, yeah. Sunderland.
Yeah, Sunderland are up and down though, aren't they? Sunderland had their moments.
Me.
Okay, you think so? I'm debating Sunderland. So far, I've agreed with you.
I'm a Sunderland man.
Yeah.
And finally, I'd say maybe Wednesday.
Yeah, no, you've lost me with that one. That's a step too far.
Really?
Yeah, that's a step too far, that is. Like, they were there in the early Prem, weren't they?
But
We've
Bolton.
got a Wednesday... Haven't we got a channel member that is a Wednesday fan, I think?
What about Bolton?
Bolton, I'm happy with. I'm happy for Bolton to be in there. Yeah, absolutely.
But we can agree on Leeds, Blackburn.
Yeah. Pompey have to be in there, Joe.
Pompey.
Yeah.
Leicester City.
Yeah.
You can't have a team that have won the league.
What about Norwich?
No, up and down, yo-yo club.
Ben Rum is a Norwich fan, so he'll be very disappointed you say that. Okay, Stoke. Lewis G, channel member, has proposed that.
The streets will never forget Stoke, but no.
What about, was it Affolai that they had? Do you remember that era where they had all of the Barcelona boys?
Remember they had Bojan.
Yeah. I think it was those two together. Classic. Yeah. What was the documentary called that they did about, was it Sunderland Till I Die?
Sunderland Till I Die.
Controversial opinion, but that is way better than the Wrexham one. Way better.
Yeah, I've not watched the Wrexham one.
Oh, you should watch it. I
watched the Leeds one, the Bielsa one.
Yes. Did you watch the Tottenham Hotspur Jose Mourinho one? Or Jose Mourinho? That was class. That was
Charlton.
Class. Charlton,
no,
I rate.
I wouldn't say Charlton, no.
I rate the shout, but I don't know if they'd get in.
Charlton, I think of Herman Hreidarson.
Yep.
Do you remember him?
I do remember him, yeah.
Sure, he played for Charlton. Jason Yule scored a couple of goals at the Bridge.
Scotty P was a Charlton boy, wasn't he?
Yeah, Scotty P. Scotty P was a Parker, was a Charlton boy.
Wasn't Gomez for Liverpool a Charlton Academy player? I think.
Yes, he was. John Joe Shelby, I believe, played for Charlton.
Did John Joe score?
But I'm on about like Charlton Premier League, Darren Bent.
Darren Bent, yeah. I played against him on
a
7-a-side team.
Have you?
I have, yeah. He comes to a game that I play. I play a game in Waterloo, and I'll give a shout out to him. There's a guy that organises it called Yemi, and he gets so many ex-pros down there. It is mad. Joey, I'll tell you a story about him. I got invited to one of these games, and he said, Josh, you need to come to this game at Waterloo. There's going to be someone there that you're going to want to see. And I said to him, I can't come because I'm filming with Joey on that day. This is recent. Like, this happened in the last year or so.
Okay.
And he said to me, trust me, mate, you want to come. Anyway, we ended up recording together. I missed it. Do you want to know who the player was?
Don't tell me it's JT.
It was fucking JT.
Fuck.
He sent me a picture afterwards, and he said, gutted, mate, you missed out. So, yeah, could have played with JT. That would have been brilliant.
That's mad. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to think of any more. I mean, Bradford, yeah, they were there at the start. Do you know, can I give a shout to one?
Go on.
You're not going to like it.
Go on.
Because you're going to go, well, hold on. There was never even there, or hardly. But just for heritage, Notts County. But then it really comes down to who do you take out? Do you know what I mean?
Like, would you take out Forest to have County in the league? Probably not. So
well,
then,
no, of course you wouldn't.
Well, then, the thing with me is
Hold
when I built my ideal.
Hold on. you've skipped over there though.
What?
Would I take out Forest to have Notts County in the league? No. But if you said to me now, would I take out
Brentford,
Man City?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's easy. That's easy.
Or would I take out? I mean, would I take out? Brighton. I'd take out Brighton. They can fuck off.
Yeah, the real rivalry is
I'd gut
Southampton
them
Pompey
for everything.
Southampton have to be in there though. Southampton have to be in there. I personally think when you're building the ideal Premier League, you want to build it around rivalries. And that's why I like your Sheffield Wednesday shout, because you can get Sheffield United in. I like the idea of having the two South Coast teams. I like the idea of having local rivals playing against each other. Because, mate, we're getting to the point now where we're having to do, like rivalries, which is sort of like Palace and Brighton. It's like, well, that's not a rivalry. Like, come on.
Pompey Southampton.
Yeah, but that's a proper rivalry, isn't it?
What about Coventry? Played 34 years in a row. Yeah. Coventry.
Did they play 34 years in a row in the Premier League though?
Well, nah, because the Premier League's only been around for 30, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, 34 now, nearly 35. Well, what was it? 92.
92. Yeah. RT9 has just said if you only listen to your podcast, it sounds like Professor Green and Tubes from Soccer AM. Who would be who?
I mean, I've come close to getting stabbed, didn't I? So probably Professor Green.
Yeah. But we're doing it on your voice, Jay, not on your criminal record.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't think I sound like either of them, to be honest.
Professor Green's like a bit more squeaky than me. This ain't so stereotypical, man. Not for a stereotypical man. It should be me.
Wasn't Professor Green going out with a girl from Maiden Chelsea?
He was going out with my mate.
Oh, here you go. RT9. Joey is pregnant.
He was going out with Faye.
Was he?
One of my sister's best mates.
Was he? Interesting.
Yeah. Joey is pro green. Yeah. Pro green. Jungle. Great tune. Have you ever heard it?
Your favourite one?
When you're out here in this jungle. Do you know who Maverick Sabre is?
That's a classic. Yeah, that is a classic tune.
It was him. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a classic tune.
Yeah.
When you went to the raves, can I just ask you? When you went to the raves, what sort of? Not that you were really paying attention to the music because you didn't really like it, but what was on?
What when I was out raving?
Yeah.
Me on ecstasy. No, what was on? Like fucking. I mean, say I'd go to like SW4 or something like that.
Yes.
Or a big festival or whatever. The tents that everyone would flock to would be like, I don't know, like fucking MK, Duke Dumont, I don't know, like just like I'm not disrespecting them, but like the beta ones. Maybe nowadays like a Joel Corey or something like that. But
that's
like,
what's happened to him, by the way. Just fucking insane what has happened to him.
But the people I liked was I used to love Todd Terry. Do you know who Todd Terry is?
Never heard of him.
I'm gonna play you just one tune.
Sounds like a helicopter. Oh yeah, no, I do know this.
Feeling free and
unreal.
Derek Carter.
Unreal.
Yeah, a couple of other. You wouldn't know them. They were like house DJs,
but it was more house because
I
had a weird thing. It was like drum and bass or like a bit of techno, but
right.
It was a bit
Should we switch over to the members only?
Yeah, let's do it. I've really enjoyed this. So everyone, before we go,
members only, by the way, people. Sorry, we are going to be revealing our next two podcasts, 2 videos.
Yeah. So if you want to join that podcast, which will be going live very, very soon after this, within minutes, all you have to do, there is a link on the YouTube live stream. If you're over on TikTok, just go straight over to YouTube right now. Hit the live, go into the description. There is a link to sign up. You can do so right there. What that gets you is access to the videos early, up to 48 hours early every week. So you get them on a Friday when they usually go up for everyone else on a Sunday. And also these weekly just exclusive member live streams where we will be dishing all of the gossip, answering all of your questions, and also giving you some key information about what we've got coming up next.
And by the way, just quickly, I've got a shout out to TikTok because I hadn't even really looked at it, right? I've gone live on TikTok before and I've said people like smash the like button and whatever, and you get it up to like 2,000 sometimes and you're buzzing with it. And that's a TikTok of mine that has what, 220,000, nearly 250,000 followers. We're on 11,000 likes on TikTok on this live stream. So thank you so much to everyone that's tuned in through TikTok. Big shout out to Josh because he's the one that set it all up.
It wasn't
easy. If you're watching on TikTok now and you want to be in the next stream where obviously we will get to people's questions, we'll make sure that we're a lot more interactive with the chat because there's going to be less people in there. Then you've just heard all the details of how to sign up. So